So, it's been our experience that religion is not a matter of standard social reality. It's not something that factors into average standard conventions for most believers, and we mean most. We know a lot of Christians that legit don't mention God or Jesus or anything about Christianity at all, and we've known them for years and they never have. We've never argued with them, and we've never had disagreements, and we share animal and food pics with them just like we share with everyone else. We'll have talks with these people for many months, know them even for years, and then we'll say something anti-biblical, which we say all the time. Most recently, the inspiration for this article, we got into a tiff with a believer because we had the audacity to make the claim that the Bible, like any book, should be read cover to cover, and that, after reading it cover to cover, we found it to evidently be written by mere fallible men. And indeed that all, quote, holy books, unquote, were written by mere fallible men, not gods, and therefore are not holy. To our surprise, on our own server, in our own religion channel, where our anti-biblical sentiments are extremely common, we were confronted by a believer who made the claim that yes, indeed, the Bible is holy. We disagreed, so they got nasty. And we have never had a disagreement with them before. But because we dared to attack their holy book, we are and these are all quotes, nasty, self-centered, hypocritical, claiming religious superiority, that we are accusing them, cocky, a toxic asshole, incapable of debating in good faith, and, this one actually hurt, knows little of theology and nothing of history. And this is all in less than 10 minutes, we kid you not, over the course of maybe 15 messages. So much for all the good times, right? It's perfectly fine to have months or even years of good interactions, but the moment that you dare to say that a book was written by people and not an evidently non-existent deity, that's it. Goodbye forever. We shall never speak again. A 10-minute interaction causes someone to go completely fucking mad with rage and indignation. And frankly, we don't understand how exactly it is not a fact to say these things. That the Bible was composed of numerous different stories clearly adopted from other religions before it, and compiled together to make a new book to start a new religion around 2,000 years ago. Just like Buddhism was a religion founded around some really cool dude around 2,500 years ago, and Hinduism around some other people thousands of years before that, no doubt. So let us just say this, because it's exactly what we said to start this thing that lost us a not friend. It is not an attack on your religion. It is a fact about all religions. And if you have a problem with it because your religion is part of all religions, but don't give a shit about Hinduism or Shintoism or Islam or whatever else, just yours, you're a fucking hypocrite. Shut the fuck up, go take a cold shower, get over yourself, and think very seriously about how you're looking at the world. We could say how we grew up in historical reenactment with a grandfather who ran a private Christian university, but that's just dumb claims and nobody cares. Nobody ever has cared. We're not special. That's why what we're saying is so plain and simple. So get it in your head real good, because we've never seen any evidence to support any other conclusion, and ain't no believers stepping up to be cross-referenced, only to insult us and call us all those bad things above without really knowing who they're talking to. So instead, we're just gonna lay it all out there. Again, not an attack on you. The Bible and all other holy books were written by mere fallible men from primitive, even savage societies from thousands of years ago who were evidently racist, sexist, pro-slavery, anti-establishment hate-mongers who knew nothing of how the universe around them worked. That's not some hypocrisy or an attack, it's the truth. It's why the Bible hates pork and has so much murder and treats women as property, etc. And reading through it cover to cover shows that. These people from over 2,000 years ago had no academic understanding of reality, thought the world was flat, thought women were as good as cattle, and thought that children were to be seen, not heard. They killed each other bloodily over small scraps of land, and sometimes even less, that they would scarcely enjoy for a couple short decades before their children broke those places apart, and they evidently had no idea how anything from the human body to the very air around them worked or what it was made of, such that they had to create fascinating and barbaric tales to explain the world so that they could better sleep at night. This is natural. There's no shame in being wrong or primitive. But we live in the modern day, so we have the tools to correct ourselves and live better than the people we worship. Better than the big, angry monkey in the sky that demands you love him only. We can and should correct ourselves and, like Tales of Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, come to accept that the Bible is a book of fables that has no bearing on reality, as evidenced by the talking snakes and the war in heaven and the talking donkeys and the virgin births and the dragons, giant monsters, men praying bears from woods to kill children, the parting of entire seas, all of humanity coming from only two people, and the whole of the entire world being physically underwater. We know that Adam and Eve didn't and couldn't have existed. We know now that there was never a global flood. We know now that the Exodus never happened. We know that snakes and donkeys don't talk. We know that human virgins cannot get pregnant. We know that people cannot walk on water or feed crowds of other people with only a loaf of bread and a fish. The Bible asserts all of these things to be true. That is not an attack on any readers. That is not a bold, hypocritical assertion trying to hurt you that we have no evidence for. That is a fact. And we know these things didn't happen. So we should extend our skepticism to the rest of the Bible. Come to terms with the fact that much of it is wrong and most of it is mere storytelling. That, indeed, the entire contents of the Bible and every other holy book are just stories. And then we should judge those stories for the quality of their writing, contents, and lessons. We have personally read the Bible cover to cover more than once and plan to do so again soon on camera. So we're going to say with confidence that those stories consistently endorse murder, authoritarianism, slavery, sexism, familicide, violent conquest, and other direct and indirect forms of violence. The stories in the Bible have no place in modern society, except perhaps as a monument to the barbarism and savagery of people from thousands of years ago who, like so many others, got it wrong.